I'm helping a client with a new build, and we were looking at the property and brand new row homes, right? You know, 4-plex, 5-plex, 6-plex, that kind of thing. And the on-site rep is, because it's for, you know, for the builder, is, oh, the HOA fees are $50 a month, but those may actually go down because we may not end up doing the clubhouse. And I'm like, $50 a month. And I'm like, okay, so what are the taxes? Because a lot of times if the HOA fees are really low, sometimes, or there's no HOA, like there's part of town here in Denver that actually pays their HOA fees through the taxes, which is really unusual. But so there's no monthly HOA fee, but your taxes are higher. So I said, okay, so what are the taxes? And they go, oh, well, they're like 1.2% or so. And I was like, okay, that's a little steep. That makes sense. I'm guessing you have a metro district. And they said, yes. So a lot of times, and it all depends on how the builder and the city and everything sets things up when they do the development. But sometimes what I'm seeing more often in newer builds is where the HOA fees are going to be lower, but they still have an HOA, and then they also have a metro district. And the metro district, a lot of times that is formed when a new community is being built, because that helps, that's what, you know, the repayment of the city, because the city says, hey, builder, we're going to pay you to build some of this stuff, but the city needs to get paid back for the streets, for the street lights, for the sidewalks, for the sewer infrastructure, for a lot of those things that the builder builds that become city property down the road, okay? So sometimes those are put into a metro district or a certain part of the property taxes or something like that. And then sometimes a metro district is also set up to cover like your boulevards and your green spaces and your shoveling the sidewalks or the private streets or things like that. And it gets a little messy in there. And people don't pay attention to these things. So I said, okay, so the metro district, got it. What about exterior maintenance? Because that's not typically in a metro district. The part of town here where we don't have the HOA, but all their HOA fees are paid through the metro district, through the property taxes. Those are single family homes, and there's no, you know, exterior maintenance that comes with those, or at least not the section of town I'm thinking of. There are others where it does. Totally depends on the neighborhood, the development, the area, and now the decade apparently. So, but for this particular development, I said, what about exterior maintenance, right? Because these are 4, 5, 6 in a row for one building of, you know, multiplex homes. And it's very unusual to see those with party wall agreements. Those are typically an HOA. So I'll do a whole nother video on party wall agreements, especially going through this whole deal, because I've seen some crazy stuff that I've never seen that is going to be interesting that I'll talk through. So I'll link that up above and down below when I talk about it. So anyway, just wanted to let you know that with exterior maintenance, when it's not included, sometimes that's why the HOA fees are really low, where they're like, oh, well, it includes exterior maintenance, but not the roof or something like that, because those are the major expenses for a lot of times for larger complexes and larger buildings. When you're replacing siding, painting, gutters, roofs after hailstorms, stucco, you know, and just general maintenance of the exterior of the building, and a lot of, you know, the sidewalks and that kind of stuff. So when those are not included, your HOA fees a lot of times will be lower, but your property insurance will be higher, because those are going to be your expenses when it comes time to do those things. You need to remember to paint your house every 5, 6, 7, 8 years, whatever it needs. You need to remember to caulk around the windows. You need to remember to seal up any gaps in the concrete so they don't continue to settle, and then you have to have a mud jack. You need to have the money set aside to pay the deductible for when the roof comes in. You need to know if your insurance policy has a cash value replacement or an actual cash value policy or a full replacement coverage policy. There's a lot more complexities to that when you're buying a multiplex home, a lot of people don't expect to have. They think it's like a townhouse or a condo and somebody else just takes care of those things. Read your docs. Don't think like, oh, the HOAs are just so cheap. This is awesome. It's like, they're too cheap. What's wrong? Right? Always ask those questions. So anyway, my buyer, we talked through that this morning. She understands. She knows that she can budget for those things. To her, it's still worth to do it. So I'm like, hey, cool. My job is not to make the decision for you. My job is to educate you so you can make an educated decision, whatever makes the most sense for your situation, right? But anyway, I'm expecting someone to walk in the door here in a minute. Like, there's no way that I can go this long without somebody walking in. So if you're liking my videos or this was helpful, please hit the like button down below. I'd greatly appreciate it. If you are looking for an agent in the Denver metro area, please feel free to reach out to me. I love my job. It's Saturday afternoon. I'm holding an open house. I did a new build this morning. I'm doing showings this afternoon. I am in this every day and I love it. And I love advising my clients so they can make those educated decisions for themselves and whatever's in their best interest. Or if you need to meet in another area, I have a link down below so you can put in some information and I can help find a great agent for you. So thanks so much for the time and have a great day.